Hey guys, Snake here. I wanted to create a short tutorial for you for the Flea Man Alley. This is a pretty challenging screen at first until you get it down, and I want to show you what I do. I think it's pretty simple and pretty safe. This is for long whip only, and this is only how I do it. There's a lot of different ways to do this screen, but the number one thing that you have to pay attention to in this screen is not losing any frames. As long as you don't lose any frames as you're moving through the screen, then you're going to have predictable patterns from the enemies. If you start losing frames, then it's going to get a little chaotic, and that puts you at risk of not only losing time, but getting sub-weapon drops, which you want to avoid. And I'll also talk briefly about the sub-weapon drops and do my best to prepare you for those. So when you enter the screen, the first thing you want to do is throw holy water. This is assuming that you have a pretty good number of hearts. You want to end this screen with as few hearts as possible, generally speaking. So the first harpy is about to appear here, and I'm gonna jump and throw a holy water. And where I'm gonna jump, I'm looking at this brown column of pixels. If you look at my mouse cursor, I'm looking at this brown column of pixels. That's my visual indicator to go ahead and start the process. And then from here on out, I'm actually looking at the birds as my visual indicators. I don't look at the ground anymore or any background tiles. I'm basically just working off the rhythm of the birds. So when this first bird appears, I'm just gonna jump and whip this flea man. And then the visual indicator for knowing when to jump and throwing the holy water here is actually the bird, this bird over here. I'm gonna wait for this bird to completely leave the screen. And this is a big problem that I see with runners, is they'll throw the holy water before this bird leaves the screen. That's gonna put you at risk of getting sub-weapon drops, so please wait until this bird leaves the screen. And then throw the holy water, and then follow it up with a jump whip on the second Fleaman. Now this next cycle is a little weird. It's the only cycle that's kind of like out of sync with the rest of the cycles. So after I hit the ground here, I'm gonna jump and hit this Fleaman just like I did the tall one on the previous cycle. When I hit the ground here, I'm only gonna take a few steps before I jump and throw another holy water. So this is the only cycle where I'm not really using the birds for a visual. I'm mostly just doing it off of feel. So I jump, throw the holy water, and whip the other enemy. So let's take a look at that again. And this is actually the cycle that you're at highest risk of getting the axe on, and you're gonna get the axe because you're gonna throw the holy water too early. So be sure to take a few steps after. Let's back it up a little bit more than that. I took a few steps there before. Okay, let's look at it one more time. Jump, whip, take a few steps, and then throw the holy water on those guys. If you throw the holy water too early, you might get the axe drop there. And as you create your save state and you're practicing here, you're actually going to look for 4 different items because they all occupy the same thing in memory. And let me list those for you real quick: the potion, the axe, the rosary, and the money bag. If you get any 4 of those items from any enemy, then that in theory could be an axe during your run. So go ahead and count that as a loss and try to avoid getting that item. And then once that cycle's done, we're just going to jump up and hit that. And then again, we're going to wait for this Fleaman or this harpy over here to leave the screen before we get ready to kill the next cycle with our holy water. And again, it's the same thing here. We're going to jump and whip this and then wait for this guy to leave the screen and then jump and throw the holy water. The last thing we're doing on the screen, which is optional, but I think it's a good practice to get into, is dumping a holy water on this dragon bone here. Sometimes if things go off script and you haven't been able to kill everything, then you're going to you're not going to have enough charges for your double shot. So this is going to guarantee it, because this dragon bone skeleton is actually like 7 sprites, 1 for each of his vertebrae, and then 1 for a skull. So let's look at this one more time. Jump and whip, wait for him to leave the screen, toss, whip, whip, take a couple steps, toss, whip, whip, wait for him to leave the screen, toss, whip, whip, wait for him to leave the screen, toss, and then follow up right here. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.